Just working with our company, you're going to get to work with a lot of bright individuals.
Everyone is open and ready to help you, and definitely big on advocating for making sure that you succeed and reach your potential.
Everyone's goal is the same, to make the best products that we can for our clients and make sure that it is everything and more that it could be.
What's kept me here? Our culture. We're genuinely a very great group of people. Everyone's just always willing to lend a hand.
When I have a suggestion or a concern and I voice it, leadership actually hears me.
As a consultancy, every person has a role and has something to bring to the table. There's just a lot of opportunities here if you're up for the challenge.
Jump on board, be part of the fun ride, because we're going places.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Bertner Electric Incorporated provides professional commercial electrical contractor services to Indianapolis and surrounding communities. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, our knowledge and experience make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
Thanks to you. Standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Indiana. Let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Welcome live to Holbert Arena, the campus of Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. It's an HCAC matchup today between the 7-7 Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers and the 11-3 Hanover Panthers. Hello, everyone. Austin Render with William McDermott with you here on RHIT.TV. Thanks so much for joining us. Our broadcasts are sponsored by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment is a leading equipment dealer since 1955. Also by Passion to Care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. Boilermaker Local 374. Boilermakers Local 374 represents highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction and metal fabrication throughout the state of Indiana. By Wheeler Mission. For over 131 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community. By Bertner Electric, your trusted electrician partner since 1986. By the Morales Group, we're in business to create a better future for you and your family. By Piper Logistics, your trusted logistics partner since 1994. By Aspen Creek Grill, why go anywhere else? Large selection of food made from scratch and fairly priced. And by Highway Safety Services. Highway Safety Services Incorporated, an MBE-DBE company, has over 60 years combined experience in traffic control and pavement markings in Indiana. And by the IndianaSRN sports page. Follow the sports page every day with update news from coast to coast. Log on to IndianaSRN.org and click on our tab. Austin Render, William McDermott with you. And Will, as we focus, let's start with the Hanover Panthers, who come in 11-3, 5-2 in the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. And this is a wide open conference this season. And the best player in the conference probably plays for the Panthers. Grace Beazold's had a fantastic season.
Yeah, Grace Beazold, one of those players that you look at just statistically dominant in the HCAC this season. One of the better players in all of Division III women's college basketball. Leads the HCAC in scoring and in rebounding. She will be a handful for Rose-Hulman today, a team that themselves coming off a week where they had that tough loss to Transylvania, a team that also beat Hanover last week. So both these squads coming off losses against a Transylvania team that has kind of been playing really well, good basketball in the conference. Yep. But if you look at the conference standings, this game is going to be huge for both of these teams because Rose now 4-3 in the league, and then Hanover at 5-2, one game back from Transylvania. So things starting to heat up in the league, and Hanover with Grace Beazold is definitely going to be a handful.
Now, we talked to Rose-Hulman head coach Devin Paul before the game, and he talked about that the conference is wide open this season. It's about who wants it more in these matchups like that we have today with Hanover and Rose-Hulman. We talk about the play of Grace Beazold. Catherine Benter, a big part of this team as well, just scored her 1,000th career points against Earlham. The supporting cast, I think we're extremely interested in the Baum versus Beazold matchup. But this game could come down to, William, the supporting cast.
Yeah, and how about Katie Clancy as well, one of the better assist-turnover ratios in the HCAC. She's been an awesome facilitator for them. And then, of course, Sammy Berman is one of the better defensive players in the HCAC. So this is a really well-rounded Hanover squad. They're well-coached. They've been led by John Jones. This is now his 24th season at Hanover. So it's a tall task for Rose-Hulman today, but Baum and the talent that they have, the statistics that she's been able to put together this season certainly gives Rose-Hulman a chance and a hope here.
Well, you mentioned Katie Clancy, 6th in the conference in assists per game. As a team, Hanover leads the conference at almost 14.5 assists per contest. They also lead the league in field goal percentage, so they share the basketball, they shoot the basketball well. That's usually some ingredients for success when you look at it, but the matchup we're really focused on, and this will allow us a little transition point into Rose-Hulman too, is the Beazold versus Baum matchup. And Coach Paul said he doesn't expect them to guard each other one-on-one the whole game, but certainly there's going to be a little mano-a-mano, what you can do, I can do better kind of thing today.
And that's what you want to see in a game like this. I think you have to feel good about it if you're Rose-Hulman, that you have a player that you even feel comfortable that can match up with Beazold, and Baum certainly can hold her own out there. And she's a player who I called a game that they played against Earlham a couple of weeks ago, and very impressed with how she was able to maneuver throughout the game. pick and choose her spots. She's savvy, she's a veteran, and she could get under your skin a little bit as a defender as well.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things we'll talk about as we continue to go through this broadcast. We're going to shift over to the Rose-Hulman side of things in just a moment. At the top of the hour, we will have starting lineups and tip-off of this HCAC pivotal matchup between Rose-Hulman and Hanover. You're watching RHIT.TV.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your students to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
Back inside Holbert Arena, Ostrander William McDermott with you as we continue to preview this matchup in the HCAC between Hanover and Rose-Hulman. Let's talk about the Fighting Engineers side of this one. Jamie Baum is the star. She averages 17 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, so almost 3 steals. She's a pest on the defensive side. But like we said for Hanover, the supporting cast is going to be so important, and you highlight somebody like Emma Shipp, who had a terrific week a couple of weeks ago. They're going to need her to play well.
Yeah, Emma Shipp, she struggled in their last time out against Transylvania. 3 of 10 from the field, just 7 points. Jamie Baum was the only player to score in double figures for Rose-Hulman in that game. They're going to need the others to step up tonight against Hanover, and Emma Shipp is somebody who consistently has been there for this team this season, partly why they've been able to play so well up until this point in the HCAC. So Emma Shipp, somebody that needs to step up, and then Sophia Reese as well at the guard position. She's a really talented guard. She can pass the basketball, defend a little well too, so she's going to be crucial for Rose tonight.
Well, I asked Coach Paul, I said, with back-to-back losses, what's kind of been the message this week at practice? He said it's been all about confidence, simply just trying to make sure the team remembers how they play when they win, how they can instill that confidence and play with that confidence here coming up today in this matchup with Hanover. We will take one more quick break here at the pregame show. When we return, starting lineups and tip-off between the Hanover Panthers and the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers here on RHIT.TV.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your students to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
575 of them from 40 states and 19 countries, with a record-breaking number of applications. Did you forget about Rose's outstanding class of 2023 and how 99% of the graduates have landed a position in their dream fields, graduate school, or the military?
The renovations to Munch Hall are finally complete, so I'm sure he'll have plenty to eat at the updated Munch Cafe by the new Living Mall.
We just broke ground on a new residence hall that will be ready for fall 2025.
We celebrated a record-breaking homecoming with more than 2,000 alumni, students, and friends commemorating the 100th anniversary of the bonfire with our first ever drone show. We also welcomed 267 employers for our fall career fair. And perhaps the greatest gift of all, the Wall Street Journal named us to one of the top 20 best colleges in America, and U.S. News & World Report named us the #1 undergraduate engineering college. You can be a little old for a lot of things, but you're never too old or too far away for Rose-Hulman. 2023 was a year of adventurous journeys, of coming together, of growth.
Well, William, this is a huge game in this conference. It's wide open. If you're Rose-Hulman, you win this game, get a leg up on a team that's one step ahead of you in the conference. If you're Hanover, you're trying to keep pace with Transylvania's one win ahead. A really important game today.
I mean, it's a huge game. You look at the schedule. They both will play each other once again this season, and they also will play Transylvania once more. But these games, they're starting to pile up. They're starting to add up here, Austin, and a good start for Rose in the first quarter would be something that Devin Paul would be very glad to see. Starting fast has been the key for this Fighting Engineers group.
And we are underway. Emma Shipp wins the tip for the Fighting Engineers. They'll work on the right side of the floor here in the early going. Emma Shipp, a couple of weeks ago, one of the players of the week in Division III hoops, but can't get that one to go. And here comes Hanover, plays a little bit faster, scores a little bit more than this Rose-Hulman team does on the year. Underneath, Beazold. Leda got her for an offensive foul.
Yeah, she drove baseline, kind of used her left elbow to hook around the defender. But again, I mean, Beazold immediately aggressive for Hanover. Called for an early foul.
Those are costly fouls when you're the leading scorer on the team and you've got one personal 30 seconds into the game. Nearly got a second right there on the defensive Jamie Baum. And Gallegos Rodriguez turns it over. Here comes Hanover the other way. Beazold will have the ball in her hand a lot. Puts up her first shot and puts it in for the game's first points. 2-0 for Hanover.
Going to go to her right hand. She likes that right side of the floor. Sophia Reese got kind of cross-matched up with her.
Jamie Baum will fire a three, but that hits nothing but air. Saved, but right back to Hanover. Clancy leading the break. The attack and the dish for a layup. Catherine Benter, a key part of the supporting cast for Hanover. Just scored her 1,000th career point in their 17-point win over Earlham on Saturday. Both these teams have lost to the top team of the conference, Transylvania, in the last week. The last two of the last three victims for Transylvania. Turnaround jumper doesn't go for Shipp. Good fight on the glass for Gallegos Rodriguez. And a whistle blows from the official on the near side. I don't know what the call, or maybe
shot
an inadvertent.
maybe?
Yep. They're going to reset the shot clock to 17.
Yeah. Don't think it reset after that shot attempt, but Emma Shipp been aggressive early for Rose-Hulman. They've trying to get her downhill, and I think that's what you want to do if you're Devin Paul. Open up the game for your other scorers. Obviously, the Bomb had the missed three, but she'll have those looks all night.
Reese attacks, throws it up, can't get it, but a foul. And 2 free throws coming up for Sophia Rose, sophomore, one of the many young players. This is a young Rose-Hulman team still trying to figure themselves out. And Reese will head to the free throw line for a pair. On the season, a 70% free throw shooter. And some of these starters play heavy minutes, and Reese is one of them, just about 30 minutes a game. Jamie Baum plays 37 minutes a game. She's 5th in her career all time at Rose-Hulman at about 35 minutes a game over her entire career. So they play a lot. Reese is one of those. She gets the Engineers on the board. And a little press there from Rose-Hulman to try and speed up Hanover.
Yeah, good switch up from Devin Paul. Transition offense, early offense on the secondary break has been the name of the game for the Panthers so far. So anything to slow them down.
Berman foul with a hand check. I think that's going to go on Diaz. It'll be her first and the team's first. So this Hanover team second of the conference in points per game. Off to a pretty good start and add to it. Rattling it a three, Alexis Wines, junior from Lebanon, knocks it down. 7-2 our score.
Beazold draws so much attention down there.
Scoop off the mark. They're going to say Gallegos Rodriguez last to touch. So the other way we go. Back to Hanover. Devin Paul mentioned wanted to get it back to a good start.
Beazold just drawing so much attention in that corner on the out-of-bounds play and just sneak it out behind her for the three.
That's the thing with Beasold and Baum. They're going to attract so many eyeballs on them. Can the others make shots when they get the open looks? Another foul called underneath, and it's going to be a reach-in on Amelia Diaz, and that's quickly 2 fouls on the sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana. And so Devin Paul, she'll head to the bench, and that will bring in Maria Godoy Rodriguez. Hanover with it, up by 5. Berman off a screen and an altered shot. Good defense by Jamie Baum.
Good defense by Baum there to trailing behind the play, able to get a hand up.
Ship to a trailing Baum. And work it around. Who's able to get open right now for Rose-Hulman? Baum, we know she can always create her own shot, but a great block from behind by Sammy Berman. Lead pass up ahead for Benter. And Hanover settles into their offense. A lot of motion, a lot of off-ball movement for this Panther squad. Down the lane, Beasold every part of the rim except for the netting. And the other way with numbers for Rose-Hulman. Reese to the bucket and another rejection by Sammy Berman.
I mean, she's just so long, Austin. So long out there. I mentioned it on the pregame. Leads this team in blocks and steals, most steals in the HCAC this season.
And 6th in blocks, and she's 5'9", but plays much taller than that. Beasold will head to the bench.
Long wingspan. She's on Baum right now, although they just switched.
Ship gets it on the baseline. Didn't realize that she was open. And they'll work it around for a 3 ball. That's off the mark from Godoy Rodriguez, but then fumbled out of bounds. Rose-Hulman gets second life here. Still early in the opening quarter, 7-2 Panthers. Thought was interesting. Talked to Devin Paul, and he mentioned they look at the season like they look at a game or they look at their academic schedule by quarters. So we're heading into the 3rd quarter of the season right now. And he says you want to have momentum going into the 4th quarter. Baum can't get that one to go. Good effort by Gallegos Rodriguez, nearly forcing a tie-up, and now she forces a steal. Jamie Baum in transition. Still looking for her first point.
They can't buy a basket at the rim. Rose just cannot get anything to fall.
And a foul on the other end will send Hanover back to the free throw line, Alexis Wines. But to tie up that point, they want to take they don't want to be down heading into the 4th quarter. They want to take momentum into the 4th quarter, like an academic year, they do quarters here at Rose-Hulman, and then like a game. And you can just see the defense right now of Hanover is giving Rose-Hulman a ton of fits.
They're doing a really good job defending at the rim without fouling. Baum's been able to get to the cup a few times, hasn't been able to finish. We saw the early offense for Emma Ship. Rose, they were trying to get her going, but you know, these shots at the rim, they're good looks. I think Rose is going to take these. They're just not falling right now.
No field goals so far for Rose-Hulman. Their 2 points are free throws. Baum, floater. Can't get a shot that she would normally knock down, and then an over-the-back foul on the rebound. And you're looking at somebody who leads this conference in 3-point percentage, top 6 in the conference in field goal percentage, and right now just can't get a bucket to fall. Caitlin Lorenzi, junior from Brentwood, Tennessee, checks in off the bench. This is a deep Hanover team. They will shuffle players in, keeping players fresh. Beasold, the potential player of the year in the conference, is on the bench right now for the Panthers with a quiet start. Nearly a turnover for Hanover. Berman tracks it down. Still plenty of time on that shot clock.
Oh, good pass.
Looking for the cutter. It pinballs out to Wines, who has to create with 5 on the timer and doesn't get anything out of it. Jamie Baum will lead the break for Rose-Hulman. Floater. There we go. Jamie Baum on the board with her first bucket.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to see one go in, and then the floodgates are going to open. Rose-Hulman's defense in this first period is keeping things close despite the rough offensive start.
1 for 6 now for Jamie Baum. Had missed her first 5 shots. Ball loose on the Hanover side. Really good effort by Gallegos Rodriguez, who's been down on her knees grabbing loose balls a lot today. Inside Emma Ship, another block at Sammy Berman with another shot alteration. But finally, Rose-Hulman gets a bucket with Jamie Baum.
Yeah, Jamie Baum, they have to get her going. She's been able to get downhill. Just 2 points for her so far. Rose-Hulman's defense keeping them in the game here early.
9-4 Panthers on top of the Fighting Engineers. Back with more first quarter action in a moment on RHIT.TV.
Finding the right answer and trying again, that's really what dragged me to aerospace. I saw other people making amazing stuff on 3D printers, and I thought if I combine that art of 3D printing with engineering, I could make something as complex as an airplane. It all changed when I came to Rose-Hulman. I feel amazing that I have still 3 years to do something much more complex.
Hello and welcome to Game Day. My name is Keith Myers. I'm the Vice President of IndianaSRN. We're glad that you joined us today. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN. This means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Back at Holbert Arena. Reynolds Farm Equipment is a leading equipment dealer serving farmers, homeowners, landscapers, and commercial contractors throughout Indiana. Nothing runs like a deer. Give them a call at 317-849-0810. Out of the timeout, free throws, and the first one no good for Caitlin Lorenzi, who has not missed one until that point this season, now 3 of 4. Notice how I said it after she took the free throw.
You don't get credit for that one.
I am not the man to blame. 10-4, Panthers on top of the Fighting Engineers. Osterender, William McDermott with you here from Holbert Arena. Emma Ship looking for her first bucket, but still can't find one. She's now 0 for 4.
Boy, I thought she got fouled on that one.
Well, one team's been called for a ton of fouls. One has been called for very little thus far in this game. Something to monitor as we continue to play on. There's already 2 Fighting Engineers with 2 fouls. Beazold back in the game and tied up. Jamie Baum.
I mean, with the way that Rose-Hulman has started offensively, 1 for 13 from the field. This kind of activity on the defensive end, you see Jamie Baum here finally getting going offensively. They're going to need her to score.
Down the lane quickly, it's Wines for 2. And the lead has stretched to 8 for Hanover, who's coming off a 17-point win over Earlham over the weekend. Rose-Hulman has lost back-to-back games. On the right side, Reese got the first 2 points of this game at the free throw line. Tack on 2 more with a scoop and score. And up the floor, it's stolen away by Godoy Rodriguez. Doesn't really have numbers, so she'll settle the offense down. And Julia Myers checked into the game, has the basketball right now. Godoy Rodriguez. Emma Ship still looking to take the lid off the bucket. She'll attack. Good aggressive take, but just can't buy a bucket right now. 12-6 Panthers. This is the leading scorer in the HCAC. Beazold without the touch on that shot.
They keep trying to give her the ball when Sophia Reese gets matched up with her.
And Jamie Baum fouled on a reach-in.
And the early offense for Hanover has been there. Every time they're able to get the ball down the floor quickly, they can find Rose-Hulman in kind of this scramble situation defensively where they're not matched up. And that time Beazold able to get to the cup, but Reese able to hold her own defensively. But again, the shots just are not falling. 2 for 15 start for the Fighting Engineers.
Benter, and Berman are in the game for Hanover. And for Rose-Hulman, Sierra Snowden. Reese gets it in for Baum. 40% three-point shooter. Has taken 1 today, missed it. Godoy Rodriguez pivoting around. Had to throw up a tough shot. And the other way comes Hanover. Beazold attracts attention upon the touch. able to get a shot up, but it's short.
Nice double team there by Rose-Hulman, in particular, Sierra Snowden.
Snowden can't get the transition bucket to go. Each team has kind of been one and done throughout this game. Not a ton on the offensive glass thus far. Jumper good for Benter. And on a night where the Stars are not finding the bucket, some of the supporting cast, Wines has 7, Benter up to 4 now. Good spin move by Reese. How about that move?
She's starting to find something here offensively off the dribble. Her ability to attack in space and get to her spots in the mid-range, it could unlock this Fighting Engineers offense.
She's got 6 of the 8 for Rose-Hulman thus far. Benter with 4 points, tries to throw it inside for Ernstis. And then Berman tracks it down. Beazold, no. But here they are getting some second chance opportunities. And Beazold, little shot put from the top of the arc, doesn't go.
How about the energy from Devin Paul on that Rose-Hulman bench? He wants this win for his team.
That was a great cut from Snowden and a great find. Layup not able to go. But how about Sophia Reese? Baum has struggled, but Reese putting on the moves.
Yeah, 6 points early for Reese. She's been able to get to her spots in the mid-range, had that nice spin move as you just saw. When she is aggressive and she can get to her game, that soft touch around the nail and in the painted area, it kind of unloads things for Jamie Baum and allows her to play off the ball more.
Big moment right here for Devin Paul. 2 of his players have 2 fouls. They've both been reinserted into the game. There's a reach-in foul on Julia Meyer. Amelia Diaz and CK Gallegos Rodriguez are both back in playing with 2 fouls, but I think Devin Paul is trying to find that energy back from his starting unit.
Well, I think in particular with Gallegos Rodriguez, her length is pretty crucial for them. This is a really physical and long Hanover squad that has been getting after them defensively. And we just saw a few possessions ago how they were able to get on the offensive glass. It's not a good sign for Rose-Hulman, but they kind of have to play them with 2 fouls.
Jamie Baum with a quick move, but can't get it at the bucket. And 1 and done for Rose-Hulman again, back in the hands of Caitlin Lorenzi. Berman's been a factor defensively. She plays much bigger than that 5'9" stature. And good help defense, but it was a little too tight. And that's going to be tagged to Maria Godoy Rodriguez, who becomes the 3rd Fighting Engineer to pick up her 2nd foul.
Foul trouble definitely becoming a concern. They've had to be physical.
8 fouls in this opening quarter.
And I mean, you like the idea there of going to the double unexpectedly. They've been doing that a lot, especially when these Hanover players, when they get the ball away from the basket and their head is down, they're sending that double team, but they're just too aggressive.
Really important possession here for Rose-Hulman. And they get a good look. Too strong from Godoy Rodriguez. And Hanover will dribble out the remainder of the first quarter. So the Panthers come in on the road, and a really nice start through the first 10 minutes. They lead the Fighting Engineers 17-8. We're back with the second quarter in a moment on RHIT.TV. Back inside Holbert Arena, a 9-point edge for Hanover after a quarter of play. We're brought to you in part by Morales Group Staffing. We're in business to create a better future for you and your family and for the community we share. We can match you with the right career or hire the right candidate for your company. Call us today at 317-472-7600. Austin Ritter, William McDermott with you. And William, a nice start for the visitors. For Rose-Hulman, how do they get things going here in this second quarter?
Well, offensively, you just have to hope that the shots start falling. They're getting some good looks. They haven't attempted a ton of threes, 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. Baum has really struggled. She played the entire first period, 1 of 8 from that field, and she missed a few easy ones that she's accustomed to making. You have to find a way to get her going. They go to her first.
She has it right now. You won't see her sit much in the game. Emma Shipp also couldn't get much to go in that first quarter. In fact, didn't make any of her 4 shots in the first frame. Clancy, good dish. And there's Beazold, who was also quiet, 1 of 6 in the first quarter. And a timeout called by Devin Paul, just 27 seconds in to this second quarter. Gives us an opportunity to let you know we're brought to you in part by Boilermakers Local 374. I think they're going to turn this into a media timeout, though, so we'll talk about that in just a moment. 19-8 Hanover on RHIT.TV.
My goal is to get involved in space industry and learn about what lies beyond the Earth's horizon. I came across Rose Rocketry. I saw, hey, they're doing some really cool stuff. They're building rockets. Being at Rose, I was able to hone my engineering skills to push myself to get involved in the field further and learn about all these different opportunities. And I don't think I would have really gotten that at a bigger university.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt?
Insulting referees.
Threatening officials.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes.
Violent language in the stands.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot. It's not a game.
RHIT.TV is brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374, representing highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field, construction, and metal fabrication throughout the state of Indiana. When you need a safe and dependable workforce for a new build, an upgrade, or facility maintenance, you can count on Boilermakers Union Local 374 to do your job right the first time. So Devin Paul uses an early timeout in this second quarter. Rose-Hulman with it. Pull-up jumper in and out for Diaz, but a good offensive board for Gallegos Rodriguez. And Jamie Baum freed up for an open 3. Got it. She needed to see that go down.
She really did, and a good job on the offensive glass by CK Gallegos Rodriguez. Those extra possessions are crucial against a team like Hanover, especially when you're struggling offensively.
Beazold loves that right baseline, and Shipp frustrated with herself for the foul. That's her first. Jamie Baum is the key to success for this Rose-Hulman team, and three-pointers going down going to unlock her game.
Yeah, one of the leading three-point shooters in the conference. Leads the team in made threes and shooting percentage.
And a turnover by Hanover. That's their 5th so far today. Only 1 for Rose-Hulman. So they've done a good job taking care of the basketball. They just got to hope that some of these shots are going to start falling.
Yeah, Rose-Hulman's attempted 10 more field goals than Hanover has. Hanover's been able to make a couple more, and then they've also been able to get to the foul line with their aggressiveness, something Rose-Hulman's only been able to do once today.
Diaz feeds Gallegos Rodriguez, scoop and score. CK Gallegos Rodriguez with a nice start to the second quarter. Offensive rebound on one possession, bucket on the other, but there's a reach-in foul, and that's costly because that is the third on the aforementioned Gallegos Rodriguez.
You make a big offensive rebound, the previous possession, then you hit a nice layup, and then you're just a little too excited defensively, called for the reach-in.
Backdoor cut and good patience, not going up initially by Clancy, but making sure she cleared space before she knocks it in. Gallegos Rodriguez remains on the floor for Rose-Hulman with those 3 fouls. They need her out there. Baum posting up. She gets it. Takes it back out. Reese for three. Got it. They're going to call it a 2. No, they did call it a 3, but they're going to review it at the next stoppage. So keep that in mind as you look at the scoreboard, but as of right now, it is a 3.
That was an excellent read by Jamie Baum. Puts it on the floor, one dribble, knows her shooter is going to move.
Travel, Hanover, 6th turnover in the early going for the Panthers, who average about 14.5 a game. And here's the Sophia Reese 3, you be the judge, but right now it stands as a 3-pointer. And boy, they need that. They need this offense to get going. In this second quarter, they've already equaled their first quarter point total in 2 minutes. And, almost added to it, but Gallegos Rodriguez didn't get a kind roll.
They're moving the ball a lot better after that timeout from Devon Paul early in the second period. I think that was a point of emphasis for them.
Benter's 3 doesn't go, and Jamie Baum rips away the rebound. She's not just a scorer, facilitator, rebounder, defender. Nice move. Reese can't get it to go. Foul going the other way. The foul total continues to add up for Rose-Hulman. That one is going to go, I believe, on Chip.
Yep.
That's her second. So now there are 4 players on Rose-Hulman that have at least 2 fouls. Gallegos Rodriguez has 3. She goes to the bench. Julia Meyer and Anaya Hawkins check in here. The foul total, 11 already for Hanover. Just 3. 11 for Rose-Hulman, just 3 for Hanover. Bezold. Hanover had good ball movement early. It's become a little bit stickier here in the second. 3 ball off to the left from Wines.
They've been sloppy at times with the basketball. That was a zone setup defensively for Rose-Hulman. That'll help with the fouling.
On the deck, find Baum. 3 on its way, short. Long rebound to Berman. Wines got things off to a good start for Hanover. Here's Benter, left it short. Second chance, no good. Tipped out of bounds. Rose-Hulman will take possession.
I mean, this is a really good response by the Fighting Engineers. It looked like this game, it started that second period, Hanover had a chance to really make a mark on this thing early. And Devon Paul calls the timeout. They come out with a lot of energy. They're moving the basketball better, spreading the wealth, driving and kicking. It's been a lot more that, the early shot clock field goal attempts. So here's another.
Baum likes that floater, but hasn't had as much luck with it today. And guess who gets another block? It's Sammy Berman. How about coast to coast? No. Knocked away at the last moment, and a jump ball. And the possession arrow will keep it with Hanover. But Berman has been an absolute force. Give her 4 blocks in this game. Came in with 20 on the year, 6th in the HCAC. Baum a little bit fortunate, no foul called there. Bezold to the rack. And that should be a foul, and it is. A lot of contact from Lorenzi.
Good job by Anaya Hawkins there defensively, and then she's able to crash the glass, draw the foul. She's been able to give them some really good spurts defensively. Just a freshman at 5'10" from Cincinnati. Hasn't really been able to put it all together offensively this season. She struggled, but she can play in spurts.
Baum, how about it? And don't look now, it's just a 2-point game. It was 27 seconds into the quarter when Devon Paul called a timeout. Huge surge since then. They've gone on an 11-2 run. And that may be halted by Bezold's trip to the free throw line.
Jamie Baum starting to feel it now. This her second 3 of the period. Starting to get in that rhythm. Sometimes all you need as a shooter and a scorer is to see one go in. She's been a little bit, the shot selection hasn't been great early. She's had a couple runners and floaters that she's attempted from right inside the 3-point line early in the shot clock. But you'll take those wide open stationary threes any day of the week.
Grace Beazold also trying to get her game going, just 2 of 8 from the floor, but she knocks down both free throws. Double digits in every game so far this season for Grace Beazold, averages 17 a game over her 4-year Hanover career. Rose-Hulman with it, trailing by 4, but right back in this basketball game after a slow start. Diaz, the runner, short, and Beazold's there to run it for Hanover. Beazold, 3-ball, Wines, got it. Second of the day for Hanover. And Wines, a 25% three-point shooter, but is still taking a decent amount this year.
Yeah, highest volume shooter on the team, Wines is for Hanover.
Shooters shoot, right?
Right, yeah, she has been, and she's making them tonight.
There's that floater again. Maybe a little less float on that one, but it goes in. Berman shovels, Beazold jumper, connects. And now all of a sudden we got a little track meet going on here.
This game's starting to develop a great pace to it. You see some extended defensive pressure here from Hanover. Rose-Hulman starting to find their groove offensively.
That's a dangerous pass, and the lengthy Berman on the run, but she's disrupted. Good transition defense by Rose-Hulman, but Beazold cleans up aisle 4. Lead back to 9 just as quickly as Rose-Hulman had it to 2. Restored to 9. 3-ball, good look, and it goes! You could have read a book while that ball sat
somebody
there.
Wanted that to go in. Somebody was wishing for that on their pillow last night.
One of those cheerleaders down there was trying to blow it in. Hanover with it up 6. Much better flow to the offense in this quarter. And here comes Diaz. Defense, but then she kicks it out of bounds. Hands on her head. She just got the friendly roll on the 3 and the bad break on that one.
It has been a storyline in this game so far. The inability for Rose-Hulman to capitalize on these 7 turnovers for Hanover.
Fast break points, they don't have any despite all of those live ball turnovers they've forced. Wines has it right wing.
Just 2 points off turnover on the game for Rose-Hulman.
Beazold, pull up. Too strong.
Good box out.
That is really good positioning by Amelia Diaz, who, remember, is playing with 2 fouls. She picked up her second foul about a minute into this game, if I'm not mistaken. It just continues to roll with it, and she's been huge for Rose-Hulman.
Yeah, Diaz, 11 minutes. She knocked down that 3 that you just saw. Those 2 fouls she picked up early, definitely huge, but Rose-Hulman, they switched it up. They went to zone for a couple possessions defensively, and she's still been aggressive. She's been able to get in the passing lanes, a couple deflections.
Baum takes a jumper and makes a jumper.
She's starting to feel it now, I think.
That's a dangerous proposition. If you're John Jones over on the Hanover sideline to see Jamie Baum heating up. Beazold out of bounds. It's going back to Rose-Hulman.
That is a clinic on how you guard Beazold, one of the conference's best players. As soon as she puts the ball on the floor, 3 fighting engineers swarm to her when they know she's about to get the shot up, and they make it almost impossible.
Yeah, that was excellent pressure from the Rose-Hulman defense. Anaya Hawkins a big part of that. Baum tries the left, and she traveled. 4th turnover of the day for, actually I think that's just the 2nd turnover of the day. That doesn't seem right. I know they've turned it over. Yeah, 4th turnover.
Had to do some searching for that.
It's been a good game in terms of taking care of the ball for Rose-Hulman. 3-ball doesn't go from Reagan Martin. Deep into the bench for Coach Jones in Hanover. Meyer a 3. The transition opportunities have been there for Rose-Hulman. Haven't been able to find the bottom of the basket though. Still just a 4-point game despite the struggles Another three. This one doesn't go from Lorenzi. Offensive board and a jump ball.
Huh.
I don't know how long that ball was ever tied up between two people, but
you know, I mean, this game has had an excellent energy to it in the first half. We talked about it early. This game is important for both these schools. It might only be mid-January, and they may see each other later on in the season at Hanover, but this is a very important game on the HCAC schedule right now. Two teams, Rose-Hulman at 4-3 in the conference. As Diaz gets fouled here, she's been good in this spurt. And then Hanover at 5-1, trying to create distance and get a game up on Transylvania, who's in the lead. So this is a very important game. These guys know it, man. They're out there playing hard.
And nobody maybe exemplifying that more than Amelia Diaz on both ends of the floor right now as she hits the first free throw. First 7 games of the season, she was averaging less than 3 points and fewer than 10 minutes a game. But over the last 7 games, she's averaging almost 6 points a contest and over 26 minutes a game. So her workload has really increased halfway through the season. Wines going left and a foul.
They're going to get bombed here. Yeah, they will.
That'll be her second. Joins the party. 5 different Fighting Engineers have at least 2 fouls here in this first half.
But you mentioned Amelia Diaz, and she's part of that sophomore class with Sophia Reese that Devin Paul feels really good about here. And both of them, these kind of like gadget guards who can do multiple things well. And I think Reese right now is the better pure scorer, but you've seen the defensive prowess from Diaz, and her activity level has been excellent.
Down 3 with a minute to go in the half. I think if you had told Devin Paul that when he took that timeout early in this quarter, he would take it, but it could be even better with a bucket here. Good pass, good cut. Jamie Baum with the assist from Reese.
Beautiful basketball there. Excellent cut and even better pass from Reese.
Lines will settle in. A stop and a score, and Rose-Hulman could take the lead to the locker room. Big possession for Hanover. Here goes Wines to the hoop. Contact, and she'll head back to the charity stripe. I think the foul.
Get here.
Well, they did not. Oh, boy, that's the third on Diaz, but how about this connection, Reese to Baum? So foul trouble is a real concern for Devin Paul. No matter what happens in these final 26 seconds, he's at least going to have 2 players starting the second half with 3 fouls, 2 of his starters, and Gallegos, Rodriguez, and Diaz. First free throw restores a 2-point edge for Hanover.
I think it says a lot about this team, their ability to even get back in the game and overcome the adversity with all the fouls and still play aggressive, hard-nosed defense. You know, at some point, something's going to have to give. And they're going to have to tie their hands behind their backs or something defensively to not foul.
15 seconds left in the half. Reese, floater, no. Cleanup, can't get the roll from Anaya Hawkins. 5 seconds left. Hanover searching for one more look. Wines has had the hot hand, and the floater goes down just before the halftime buzzer. And the Panthers will take a 5-point lead. We said that last possession for Hanover is going to be important. They got 2 down the stretch to extend it back to a 5-point lead.
Yeah, nobody stopped ball on the final leak out for Hanover. And it's just a really well done play there. They're able to get the little floater to end the half. But Fighting Engineers able to go on a little bit of a spurt there, especially after the timeout call by Devin Paul. Dealing with the foul trouble, but offensively starting to get things going.
Wines finishes with 15 in that first half, just her 5th game of the season in double figures. And the Panthers have a 35-30 lead at the break. Hey, we're brought to you in part by Passion to Care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. As a Prestige healthcare company, Passion to Care is driven by decades of expertise and a drive to go above and beyond. Call us today at 317-537-1811. We're also brought to you by Piper Logistics. For For more than 2 decades, the seasoned professionals at Piper Logistics have consistently been the trusted allies for all your inventory management, warehousing, fulfillment, and transportation needs. We stand as your comprehensive logistics partner. Ride with us. Call today, 317-396-1023. Looking to elevate your brand? Choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shops for all your print, signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services. Serving Indianapolis for over 50 years, Dynamark, where strong relationships are built through exceptional service. Call today at 317-328-2555. And we're also brought to you by Highway Safety Services. Services, you do what you do. We'll keep you safe doing it. Contact at 765-446-1502. Halftime at Hobart Arena, the Panthers lead the Fighting Engineers 35-30. We'll be back with the second half in about 13 minutes from now here on RHIT.TV.
Big play here for Mount Vernon. Hurdle looking right, now over the middle, fires, and it's in there for a touchdown. What a throw. Boy, what a stick, huh? Side out, back to the middle, and guess what? You want a point on the other side, you go to Taylor Lewis.
Here's Freeman. Has an opening shot. Score!
Stafford around a screen. Skip pass. Mays with 3. Mays drive. Floater up and in at the horn.
Hand off, and nice hole over the near side. 40, 35, 30. Block to the outside. 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown. And that's a big one right there. And finally, somebody gets on the board.
Rose Rocketry was founded to put Rose-Hulman on the map for places to go if you're interested in aerospace. Rocketry is a club and a team for anyone interested in any aspect of hobby rocketry, aerospace as a career, or space in general. Rose Rocketry has several different pillars that we try to pursue for all of our members, one of them being the NASA USLI competition. The NASA University Student Launch Initiative is for college students and universities to get experience with high-power rocketry, get experience in creating proposals for NASA. They put us through the same rigorous process as they would all of their contractors. We write proposals, critical design reviews, we write flight readiness reviews, and then we can go and present all of our learnings to the NASA board and they can ask us questions. And having that kind of hands-on experience where you can point to it and say, hey, I want to work at your company. This is what I've done to show that I'm valuable to your company. I've built rockets before. I've written proposals for NASA before. Another part of Rose Rocketry is the research aspect. Because Rose Rocketry's goal is to help students pursue aerospace as a career, we want to try to encourage people in whatever field, in whatever subset of rocketry they are interested in. For example, we have a bunch of students working on what's called Rose Propulsion Laboratory, and we are able to provide them funding, even mentorship. Another aspect would be electric ion propulsion. We have a couple students who are really interested in in-space propulsion specifically. And then there's also SmallSat. Rose SmallSat has the goal of launching a nanosatellite, which is around this big, into orbit within the next 3 to 5 years. And this is a really ambitious project, and it wouldn't be possible without the support of Rose Rocketry. My favorite thing about Rose Rocketry is how open we are. A lot of our people that are the most active are freshmen. And that's fantastic because now these people are learning hands-on engineering skills before they even learn what engineering is.
It's sort of given me a preview of all the engineering that is to come, and it's sort of put me on the fast track of learning mechanical engineering. Failure modes, effects, and analysis, that's not something you really learn as a freshman in your academics, but learning it in Rose Rocketry means I can apply those concepts to my current classes, which really helps me excel academically and prepares me for future classes. One of the goals I have after graduation is to be part of the aerospace industry. Rose Rocketry has helped me prepare for that goal in learning the design process of the aerospace industry and learning the documentation requirements. And it's also given me the opportunity to step into a lot of design areas and a lot of manufacturing areas that I haven't been exposed to before. And I think Rose Rocketry provides that really collaborative and friendly atmosphere. We really learn to work with each other, especially across multiple majors. What's special about Rose is the ability to really get involved. If you have that initiative, you can pursue it. And I think that's exemplified by how joining this team as a freshman, I was able to be elected the vice president. I was able to make a real difference on the team. That experience is something that you really may not find at other universities.
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. We consider it a privilege to have you as one of our listeners and viewers. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN, which means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
To make sure our doors are open. We serve 1,000 meals a day plus every single day. That's a nice, warm, nutritious meal. Donors provide that. Donors provide our food, coffee, something hot to drink. Donors provide that. So there's a lot of opportunities to get involved at Wheeler to make sure we can get through winter, or to work at Wheeler. We need staff, and so we're always looking for staff to get us through the winter time. We spread ourselves thin during winter, making sure that anybody can find space. And so we have bed capacities for sure, but we go beyond that every winter to make sure that the city has an option for people who are experiencing homelessness in the dead of winter.
Schools out there that are watching this program, with our reach, maybe they want to do a sock drive, or they want to do a sweatshirt drive. They can contact our office at IndianaSRN, or they can contact you. Where's a contact, or who would be a contact that maybe we want to do a sock drive? I think that would be a great idea for SRN to start one of those sock drives. How would that? What does that look like?
Yeah, so if you go to wheelermission.org, we have our needs lists that are right there on our website. Those change sometimes in the winter, but there are some needs that are pretty much continual when it comes to hygiene items, when it comes to warm items to get us through the winter. So when you're talking about coats, especially bigger sizes for people that come through, we want to make sure a lot of people that come to our mission, they come with the clothes on their back, right? And so we need to make sure they have something to wear during their stay with us, and which could be for a few weeks, could be for a couple months. And so go to our website, wheelermission.org. You can donate directly there, whether it's a financial donation, or you can look at our needs list. You can even find drop-off locations. You can drop it off at some of the barns that we have around the city, or come right down to Wheeler Mission, drop it off right there. But we need this community's support. So greatest thing about Indianapolis is it is a generous community.
Yes.
It is a community that steps up when there's a need. And there's 1,700 homeless individuals in our community. That number has risen 5% just over the last year. Wheeler Mission is the main place for those individuals to go, has been since 1893, over 130 years. And so support that ministry so that those doors can be open, making sure that every man, woman, and child that needs to come inside can come inside and not only get warm, but get nutritious meals, food, shelter, and care. And so beyond that, we take them through a whole journey of program to make sure that they come out our back door different people. But the first things first, right? Get them fed and get them warm and get them safe.
Since it's basketball season and we cover over 300 games a year on IndianaSRN, we challenge our basketball teams and our basketball programs to get involved. There are meals that need to be served. Tell our teams out there how they can help and serve meals.
Yeah, no better way to really open your eyes to the community's needs than to stand in front of people who are desperately in need and hand them a meal, hand them what they're asking for that day. So great group opportunity is to volunteer at Wheeler Mission. You can go to wheelervolunteer.org. You can sign up a group. It can take an hour and a half to come down and serve a lunch. You can get 12, 15 people involved in that, a dinner. Come down either at our men's shelter or our women's shelter. It's a really cool experience for teams. not only to help in a way that you're making a difference, but to see the people that you're helping, right? To hand a meal to someone and smile and say hi to someone literally in their darkest moment, right? So
best assist they can ever make.
Oh yeah,
is to serve a meal.
That's a good point. It's a slam dunk.
It's a slam dunk, exactly. For Indiana SRN, this is Keith Myers.
Welcome back to Hulbert Arena at halftime here in Terre Haute. The score is 35-30 for the Panthers over the Fighting Engineers. Austin Render, William McDermott with you on RHIT.TV. And William, that was a tale of two quarters. The first quarter was a slow, not a very high shooting percentage quarter that Hanover kind of grinded out a 9-point lead. The second quarter, we got up and down the floor, much better flow. Rose-Hulman started to come alive, and they're only down by 5 here at halftime.
Yeah, Rose-Hulman 3 of 21 from the field in the first quarter. In the second, 8 of 19. They were able to see the ball go in the net more. Jamie Baum, she was able to get going for Rose-Hulman in the first half. She had a slow start, was 1 of 8 from the field. She's now 6 of 14 with a team high 14 points. So that was crucial for Rose-Hulman, but still not exactly where they should be. The fouling, Austin, has been a problem. Currently, Rose-Hulman, I believe, let's see, is that 6 players with 2 or more fouls? And they've got 1 with 3 in Amelia Diaz. So the foul trouble has been a problem. It's helped Hanover get to the line. Hanover 11 of 14 from the charity stripe. The Fighting Engineers 4 of 4. That's been a difference here. And then Hanover, they've been a little bit careless with the basketball with the turnovers. 7 turnovers in the first half. Relatively clean game overall. But Rose-Hulman not able to capitalize off of those 7 turnovers. 0 fast break points for the Fighting Engineers in that first half.
Yeah, trying to take advantage of those miscues is something I would imagine Devon Paul talked about in that halftime locker room. The Fighting Engineers led by 14 from Jamie Baum, 9 from Sophia Reese for Hanover, 15 for Alexis Wines, who has now made multiple threes for the 3rd time in her last 4 games, her 5th game total this year in double figures. Grace Beazold in double figures for the 15th time in 15 games. She's got 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Not a super efficient half for her, 4 of 12, but when you get the help from Alexis Wines, that certainly took some of the pressure off Beazold.
We talked about it early. We talked about the others, right? That the others in this game was going to be the difference, and so far, Hanover, and in particular, Wines, has stepped up. I mean, you said it. She can make in threes. She's 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, 5 of 6 from the foul line, aggressive 15 points. She's been crucial for them. And then Sophia Reese on the side of Rose-Hulman. When Jamie Baum was struggling, she kind of kept this Fighting Engineers offense afloat, and it helped them get back in the game. And obviously, the crucial timeout from Devon Paul early in that second quarter helped change the momentum.
RHIT.TV brought to you by Officially Human. Our mission is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the fields and courts. Do your part. Practice good sportsmanship. If we don't have officials, we can't play. Second half underway, and Rose-Hulman going with a zone defensive look to start the half. They'll feed Beazle with a double quickly there. Back out to Benter. And a 3 ball from Wines, looking for her 3rd. Can't connect. And, boy, that was a long tie-up to not have a whistle, and then it's out of bounds to Hanover.
We had a jump ball in the first half that it was held for less than that.
I'm a proponent of letting him go.
Too.
But you're right, the precedent was there earlier. Here goes Benter, spin move and a stuff. Gallegos Rodriguez.
She's made some great plays on that end of the floor.
Diaz, Reese, Gallegos Rodriguez have been big in helping Baum today. Ship trying to get going, can't buy that bucket. Out to Baum, deep 2, draws a foul. In the landing area was Katie Clancy. That'll be her 2nd. And Jamie Baum's got a pair of free throws coming up.
But it's made by Gallegos Rodriguez. I mean, here you have on the defensive end, being tall, using her hands, all ball on the block, and then she's able to get the offensive rebound, leading to the kick out, and Baum's able to hoist up a deep 2 with her foot on the line, and she got fouled.
It's an uncomfortable spot for Gallegos Rodriguez as Baum toilet bowls out the second. She and Diaz both playing with 3 fouls, but they still have to try and be passively aggressive at some point here in this third quarter.
Yeah, I have to think that the zone was something that Rose-Hulman went to.
And there is an and one for Grace Beazold, the leading scorer in the HCAC at 23 a game, 10 in the first half. It tack on 2 more, plus an opportunity for a third coming up here.
Well, you can only do so much on Grace Beazold. Misses the free throw, but she was a little bit inefficient in the first half, a little bit quiet, 5 of 13, not great percentage. And those turnovers just can't have that in a close game.
They should make an amendment to the foul totals. One of those fouls, or no, they've actually changed it back. Never mind. I was going to correct myself, but I was right. Diaz does have 3. 35-31. Panthers in front. Beazold. On the right side, it's Berman. She was an impact player defensively, trying to show off the offensive game, but instead Baum with a good defense, but another chance off the rebound at Clancy. 11-3 Panthers. In the corner. 3-ball winds in and out. Rebound secured by Diaz. Rose-Hulman comes in 7-7, 4-3 of the conference. Pull-up jumper off the mark. And Beazold rips away the rebound. Ball's in her hands a lot for good reason. And she'll draw a blocking foul. And an opportunity for 2 more at the line on another foul. This is the first on Sophia Reese.
Not much Sophia Reese could do there. Thought she had solid positioning, but not vertical with the arms. And you see the aggressiveness here in the second half from Grace Beazold, the second time she's gotten to the foul line.
I do think it's fair to point out, not making any commentary on the individual fouls, but 15 called on Rose-Hulman and just 7 on Hanover in this game. That's more than double. I don't feel like the 2 teams are playing that different stylistically. Jamie Baum with it.
Yeah, Rose has had a few that have been a little bit far away from the basket. But, for the most part, like you said, I think the physicality, it's been a physical game across the board.
That floater for Baum has not been there today. Good straight-up defense that time by Jamie Baum. And Emma Shipp going to run the point, going coast to coast, but left it short. It's just been that kind of day for Emma Shipp, who's now 0 for 8 from the floor. The great move, everything but the finish. Now Hanover going back to work with Benter. Clancy drug that pivot foot. Could have maybe called her for 3 seconds. Could have called her for the travel. John Jones shakes his head on the sideline. The longtime head coach of Hanover, 10th season as a head coach, 24th season on the Panthers bench. He's been doing this a long time.
It was a very similar offensive start for Rose-Hulman this half as they started the game. Just not a whole lot of ball movement, not a lot of movement without the basketball.
Baum saves a potential turnover. And there's a scoop, but it's too strong. More often than not, Jamie Baum has been too strong today on a lot of those shots. And all the way on the other end, a missed layup by Katie Clancy. Boy, that is... Here's Baum off a screen. Attacking left, splits a double, and draws a foul. 2 free throws coming up for Jamie Baum.
Well, Baum definitely hunting shots right now. She's been able to get into the lane. She's, that patented floater shot that she's got, but I think she's got to keep going downhill and getting to the rim. There she's able to get all the way to the cup instead of kind of pulling up from the mid-range and able to draw the contact and get to the foul line.
Can she put some pressure on that Hanover defense? getting downhill. On the year, 17 points, 7.5 rebounds a game for Jamie Baum. Splashes both on that trip.
We haven't seen her create her shot from beyond the arc much. She's been able to spot up a few times. They haven't really seen that in this second half. I'd like to see them get her some looks, run some plays for her on the perimeter.
Berman and one. And that foul on Jamie Baum will be her third.
Foul's just, it cannot be understated. It has changed things for Rose-Hulman here tonight.
That free throw short. Hanover has struggled from the free throw line, left the door ajar. The lead is 7. Here's Ship into a double team and a turnover. Back the other way, Beazold with numbers. She'll take it herself. Left it short. Berman tries to clean it up and can't do it, but they'll get another possession tipped out of bounds by Jamie Baum.
12 of 18 at the foul line for Hanover.
Opportunities to stretch this out. Haven't been able to do it. John Jones having a long conversation with our officiating crew. Wanted a foul, I think, on that initial shot from Grace Beazold in transition. This is close to 5 seconds. They just get it in at about 4.8, but just end up turning it over anyway. Turnovers have been a real issue as well today for Hanover.
And Rose-Hulman has to find a way to capitalize here. We saw a previous possession, Baum able to get to the rim. They're trying to get Emma Ship involved. It hasn't been her night offensively. She's had some good looks, though. One of them is going to fall eventually.
Jamie Baum still has not sat a single second in this game. She gets a look. 3 ball from the wing. Too strong. And the rebound in the hands of Catherine Benter.
But you live with that, right? Yep. A 40% three-point shooter, open, standing on the wing.
Going baseline. What a spin by Berman. And the finishing touch on a nice floater.
Well, early offense has been the name of the game tonight for Hanover. Off of a missed shot, they are pushing the basketball.
And that's getting downhill right there for Sophia Reese.
When Jamie Baum was struggling in the first half, Sophia Reese was able to level things out offensively for Rose-Hulman. A big basket there keeps it within single digits.
Before the Transylvania game, Reese was averaging 13.5 a game in her previous 5. And here's another turnover. And it's going to be a reach-in foul on Catherine Benter, about 90 feet from the basket. And that will take us to a timeout. Rose-Hulman trying to hang in there as we go back and forth, trading buckets in this third quarter. The Panthers lead 42-35. Stay tuned. More basketball coming up here on RHIT.TV.
So I started working on Babcock Ranch 16 years ago. We designed a sustainable community that is also storm resilient, and also it has a ton of flood control associated with it. It has 75 megawatt solar facilities on site, which will cover the entire 18,000 acre community. In September of 2022, we had Hurricane Ian. We had 150 miles an hour sustained winds for about 10 hours and 21 inches of rain. Babcock really had little to no damage at all. We were the only place in a 2-county area that had any electric or any available drinking water that did not need to be boiled. And Rose really prepares you to go out, think outside the box, and problem solve. And I think for any major at Rose-Hulman, that's what you're getting. You have the ability to go out and create something new and innovate and change the way that we live as humans today.
At Holbert Arena, the lead is 7 for the visiting Panthers. Wall-to-wall sports news every day. High school, college, pro sports, we have it all. Check it out at IndianaSRN.org and click on the sports page tab. Stay informed with the IndianaSRN sports page. Panthers up 42-35. This third quarter has been back and forth since the 5-point deficit that Rose-Hulman had at halftime. A feed Baum. And the deflection forces the cut from Diaz. I thought she should have cut anyway, and eventually she did off the deflection.
I think that's what Baum was hoping she was going to do anyways, and It slows her down a little bit, but she's able to race to the ball and puts it up. Diaz now in double figures.
Well, that's a tough finish there from Grace Beasold, who's up to 15 on the day now. Reese has been the playmaker when it's not been Jamie Baum. Here's Meyer working off a couple of screens each way from Ship. Still time, 12 on the shot clock. Jamie Baum with it, looking to create. Slides her to the corner, down the baseline. Good finish by Sophia Reese.
Great pass by Baum, too. Looked like she was just going to ISO that possession out, and instead kicks it into the corner on the bounce, and Reese able to cut to the basket.
Just think what grabbing the lead would do for Rose-Hulman if they can get over that metaphorical hump that they've been trying to battle with here since that early deficit. And an up and under, counted, and a foul for Grace Beasold. And going to tell everybody to go to their benches. I think some extracurricular after the play. Not totally sure who is involved.
I believe it was Beasold and Baum there.
Boy, Jamie Baum cannot afford to be tagged with any more fouls here. She already has 3. So on the other end, though, Rose-Hulman is doing a great job getting downhill. It's not just Jamie Baum.
Yeah, Sophia Reese, 13 points, 5 of 9 from the field. She also made the 1-3, but it's really been a three-girl show for Rose-Hulman. Amelia Diaz, Sophia Reese, Jamie Baum. Those are the only people who have scored more than 7 points for the Fighting Engineers. Reese at 13 points, Diaz has 7, Baum 17. And then Gallegos Rodriguez has 2 points, but they've got to figure out a way to get other players involved. In particular, Emma Ship, 0 of 8 from the field, and she's had some good looks. Austin.
Yep.
We're still awaiting word here.
I think there's going to be something. I saw the number 5 flashed at the scoreboard. Will's going to get a look at it. The shooting foul.
Yeah, it looks like.
I think the shooting foul was on Jamie Baum.
Well, there's not much there. I mean,
they're at
some
the monitor.
Contact after, and Baum gives a little bit of a push.
Well, here's the issue. That shooting foul was on Baum. So if there's a technical foul added to this, that's 5. So, there's a lot hanging in the balance with this review right
now.
here.
If they do call it double tech, because initially the official
he pointed both ways.
At both. Would that make it offset and not count as personal fouls?
Yeah, we're getting into the nuts and bolts.
The nitty-gritty
of
college basketball.
This is some real college basketball rules right here.
And they've been discussing this for.
I think they should have to come up the stairs.
They're looking at our shots, by the way.
They should have to come up the stairs. Yeah. Our great cameramen and women are giving them these angles, but they should now have to come up the stairs and tell us themselves what's happening here. You know they would do that if we were down right on the court, so let's just have them get a few extra steps in, come up here, talk to us. Yeah, exactly. Oh, he would do it. You know Heinies would do it.
Yeah, this is obviously a monumental decision for this game.
The 2 coaches have come together here, John Jones and Devin Paul. Again, Jamie Baum has 4 fouls. She has not sat a single minute of this game. She is one of the top, actually leads the conference at over 37 minutes a game. But this is going to get really dicey for Rose-Hulman if that's the 5th and final foul on Jamie Baum, still with 13 minutes left. Double tech. Yeah, Jamie Baum is done. Wow, that is a game-changing sequence.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
Sometimes in the heat of the moment, you know, you're not thinking about how many fouls you have or whatever, but yeah, this definitely changes things.
13 and a half minutes still left in this game. So now the youngsters are going to grow up here real fast for Rose-Hulman, and an opportunity for them to kind of show their games off here.
Let's see if Amelia Diaz and Sophia Reese can try to take this game over and keep fighting for Rose-Hulman here. This is going to say a lot about this team these next few minutes and how they handle this.
Ball tipped into the hands of Reese. How does this change Hanover's defensive approach? Because your whole approach, getting ready for this game, is how do we defend Jamie Baum? Now she's not out there.
Well,
and a turnover.
You're going to have to find somebody to take care of the basketball first. Hanover, I wouldn't be surprised if they're a little bit more aggressive defensively. I mean, remember, they haven't been getting called for some of those fouls.
Jump ball will send it back to Rose-Hulman. That's the other aspect of this. Can they be aggressive defensively in Rose-Hulman and create some live ball turnovers that create easy buckets? Yeah. This is going to be, like you said, we're going to see a lot about this team. We're going to see a lot about the supporting cast here. First minutes for Caitlin Fennell.
And, you know, if I am Devrin Paul, I'm looking at Emma Shipp here. 0 of 8 from the field. She struggled, but she's had some good bag work. She's been able to get to the rim. Her looks have been good. Here she is.
Yep, going to work in the paint. She can also create for others as she tries to do here. Out for a three from Diaz, short. And the rebound for Hanover. Shipp averages about 2.5 assists a game, so if you can work through her, it's certainly a different approach than they have normally done with Jamie Baum on the floor, but that's going to have to change here over the next 12 minutes and 20 seconds to come back from 8 down. Just 9 points in this quarter so far for Rose-Hulman. Attacking baseline. Shoveled out. Lorenzi stuffed on the three by Fennell. Lead pass to Diaz. Cross court, it's Gallegos Rodriguez. And the bank shot doesn't quite go. Gets her own rebound and still can't get the putback. Boy, they're getting some looks inside that painted area. And meanwhile, on the other end, juggled pass, poised, and 2 points for Catherine Benter. And I think a good timeout here from Devrin Paul with minute 43 to go to try and create something here. So we'll take the timeout with them. The lead is now 10 for the Panthers. We'll see how Rose-Hulman responds when we come back on RHIT.TV.
Say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
Sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. We consider it a privilege to have you as one of our listeners and viewers. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN. This means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Back at Holbert Arena. Help us put more student athletes on TV by logging on to IndianaSRN.org and directing your donation to a specific school or hit the donate button. More games, more opportunity for our kids. IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat. So out of Devrin Paul's second timeout, it's Rose-Hulman basketball. Gallegos Rodriguez to Diaz. Who's going to step up here for Rose-Hulman?
Someone
These
has
guards
to assert themselves.
They've gotten downhill, but you've kind of had the attention grabber of Baum. Can they do it without her? Reese trying to make it go. Shipp will attack and lost it. Turnover. Here comes Hanover. Katie Clancy turned back over. This is a Rose-Hulman team that's second to the HCAC with about 10 steals a game. They are active defensively. Emma Shipp working one-on-one inside. Hook shot. There you go. First make of the day for Emma Shipp, and if they want to come back, she's going to be an important part of it. They have it at single digits, final minute here this third quarter.
First basket for Shipp. She averages 10 a game. They're going to need 10 more from her.
A late foul comes in from the opposite side of the floor. Devin Paul is furious. And that will send Wines back to the free throw line. But Emma Shipp is going to be a big part of this for Rose-Hulman.
Huge. They've got to find a way to get her going. I mean, those kind of shots, as you just saw, those are going to be there for her all night long around the rim. The one-on-one type post-ups. And there she just able to put a nice move on her defender and get to the basket, score. You're going to need that offense from her. And again, Hanover just continues to leave points at the foul line. Now 13 of 19.
That foul was on Reese, her second, and a pair of missed free throws for Hanover. During that stretch, Michaela Moran has checked in. It down low, going on Shipp, and Shipp will go to work and got it, +1. She sees one go through and wants it back, and has a chance for three the old-fashioned way.
And I love it. Moran had just checked in, and they say, you know, we're going to put you to work on your first defensive possession. Moran will now come out. And that left hand for Emma Shipp, back-to-back possessions here, where she's able to get to the left block and score.
And she hits the free throw, back to a 5-point game. Another well-used Devin Paul timeout. They've scored 5 unanswered out of it. A stop and a score would go a long way as we're right back toward the halftime deficit at 5. Wines has led in the first half, hasn't scored in the second half. She attacks and throws it. Stayed inbounds. 9 to shoot. Clancy down low, Benter. Good find by Katie Clancy. Final 7 seconds. Shipp runs it up the floor. 3 seconds left. Somebody's got to shoot. They'll fire from deep. It's short from Caitlin Fennell, and that's the end of the third quarter. But a good response out of the timeout, and Rose-Hulman's got 10 minutes. Still in this one, down 51-44 as we head to the fourth quarter here on RHIT.TV.
My goal is to get involved in space industry and learn about what lies beyond the Earth's horizon. I came across Rose Rocketry. I saw, hey, they're doing some really cool stuff. They're building rockets. Being at Rose, I was able to hone my engineering skills to push myself to get involved in the field further and learn about all these different opportunities. And I don't think I would have really gotten that at a bigger university.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt. Insulting referees.
Threatening officials.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes.
Violent language in the stands.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot. It's not a game.
One quarter left here at Holman Arena. The Panthers lead by 7. Pat Cherry is your independent agent representing Ohio Mutual Insurance. Call him today for coverage tomorrow, 317-894-7000. Also brought to you by Wheeler Mission. For over 131 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community, providing help, hope, and healing to people in need. Can you volunteer? Call 317-686-6239. Fourth quarter underway here at Rose-Hulman. The lead is 7 for the visitors. Deep 2. Too strong. Good effort on the boards, but it's out of bounds off of Sophia Reese, who came flying in to at least make sure an offensive rebound was not secured. She's going to be big in this fourth quarter. Sophia Reese has 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists in this game. And a travel off the inbound from Berman. I think might have banged knees with somebody at the end of that play. That's always a painful interaction. It's going to start on the defensive end, but they're going to have to get some good looks from some of their guards here. But Emma Shipp, the catalyst at the end of the third quarter. She'll kick it to Reese for 3, left it short. And the rebound ripped away by Beazle. Wines was the first half hero for Hanover. And a blocking foul called. Free throws coming up That's what she did in the first half. Got there 8 times, made 5 of them. Or I should say made it 6 times. Missed 2 just a moment ago. And as a team, the free throw line has been a house of horrors today for Hanover.
Yeah, Wine's aggressiveness has really been a difference in this game for Hanover. One of her better games of the season up to this point, only scoring 6 points a contest, but she's been impressive today. So is Sophia Reese, though. It's been a fun matchup to watch.
That was the 3rd foul on Reese, by the way, and she attacks and draws one on the other side of the floor. If you're just joining us, the leading scorer for Rose-Hulman, Jamie Baum, fouled out on a technical foul with about 3.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. First free throw up and good for Reese. They trailed by as many as 10 right after that. They have fought back here down by 7 as these young guards of Rose-Hulman grow up quickly.
You know, I don't think we've talked enough about the youth of this team. One senior on this roster, Austin, and that's Jamie Baum, and she's not on the floor anymore against a good team in Hanover in a big conference game. And these young guards, and Emma Shipp, who's just a freshman, they have responded for Rose so far.
But boy, every time Rose-Hulman gets a big run going, Hanover has an answer. That time it was Berman. 54-46. Important couple of minutes before that final media timeout to keep this one within striking distance for Rose-Hulman. Shipp, Diaz, 3-ball, short, board, and another opportunity. Oh, look at the handles. Didn't get her anywhere, though. Shipp will attack. That's a nice move. Can't get the finish. Blocked again by Berman. That's her 5th of the game.
Shipp not as comfortable going to the right hand.
And Beazle stretches it back to double figures. But Shipp also had, I think it was Gallegos Rodriguez on the opposite block on that last play. But it's hard. Berman has kind of snuck up on some people with those 5 blocks. Hook shot from the baseline. Nice finish by Caitlin Fennell. Transfer from Indiana State, having to play some big minutes here. Down the lane, Berman. Blocking foul, and that's another one on Rose-Hulman.
They give this to Gallegos Rodriguez.
It's going to be her 4th. As Fennell, you're going to have to get production from spots you don't usually get it from. Fennell averages about 6.5 a game. But defensively there, that's one where if you're Gallegos Rodriguez, if you just take one step over and maybe absorb that contact, it's probably going the other way.
And Rose-Hulman's having a tough time picking the ball up in transition. Even after a made basket, as you just saw Hanover, they are hustling down the floor and getting into the early offense. And it's creating a lot of these mismatches and these situations where defensively the Engineers aren't matched up, and it leads to a foul, and they have to double team or a missed assignment. And that's kind of how the Panthers have been able to retain this lead and keep it around 8-10 points the last few minutes.
They throw it inside, good cut, but a lost ball out of bounds to Rose-Hulman. And I talked to Devin Paul before the game about Emma Shipp, and he said, look, she's a freshman, but we knew when we recruited her she would be impactful right away. They need her right now. Gallegos Rodriguez with a great cut. Got it back. And another opportunity here. Jumper, Fennell, yes! I think her foot was on the line.
Yeah, they gave her a 2.
So the other way, and there's Fennell, who's giving them some really good minutes with a steal. Pull-up jumper. Why not? Caitlin Fennell filling it up here in the 4th quarter. It's back to a 6-point game. This team just won't go away. I'm so impressed with the fight of these young players.
Players step up individually in a big-time way. It hasn't just been one guy, or woman rather.
Jumper doesn't go. And Fennell's another underclassman freshman who's making an impact along with freshman teammate Shipp and some sophomores and juniors out there. Gallegos Rodriguez is fouled, and at the free throw line, a chance to cut this to 4. But Caitlin Fennell And started the first 7 games of the season, has come off the bench the last couple, and boy, she's making an impact right now.
She didn't really play much in that first half, and now she's 3 for 3 all of a sudden just in this 4th period alone.
Godoy Rodriguez.
6 points, huge. And how about Gallegos Rodriguez? She's missed a few around the rim, Austin, but her activity, she's got some big offensive rebounds, some great deflections on the defensive end, and then a crucial free throw here, making the first of 2.
Fennell back to the bench for a moment. Getting a drink of water as Godoy Rodriguez checked in for her. Big free throws, and this is a 4-point game. No matter the outcome, Devon Paul has to be so proud of the way his underclassmen have fought without their leader. And here's a steal. Gallegos Rodriguez and a foul. A 2-point game and a chance for one more at the line for the junior, and now the oldest player on the floor for this Rose-Hulman squad.
Again, and we're seeing a leader blossom right before us in Gallegos Rodriguez, setting example, aggressive offensively, gets to the foul line for a couple free throws, and then heads up on the inbounds, is able to make a steal. And again, an aggressive move to the basket. We got a 1-point game here, and Baum's been on the bench for the past 10 minutes.
It's a 9-0 run here for the Fighting Engineers, who have not led in this game. Timeout called by Hanover. John Jones wants to chat about it. With a 1-point game, 6:06 to go, and a media timeout upon us. We'll take it with them. Don't go anywhere. The screws are tightening here at Holbert Arena on RHIT.TV.
Finding the right answer and trying again, that's really what dragged me to aerospace. I saw other people making amazing stuff on 3D printers, and I thought if I combined that art of 3D printing with engineering, I could make something as complex as an airplane. It all changed when I came to Rose-Hulman. Feel amazing that I have still 3 years to do something much more complex.
Hello and welcome to Game Day. My name is Keith Myers. I'm the Vice President of IndianaSRN. We're glad that you joined us today. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN, which means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Back at Holbert Arena, tight one of the 4th, 58-57 Hanover. Why go anywhere else for delicious food? If you're looking for amazing fresh food and servers that genuinely care about service, you've got to try Aspen Creek Grill. If you're looking for that service, you will not be disappointed. 866-885-3249. Well, again, if you're just joining us, Jamie Baum, the leading scorer on the season for Rose-Hulman, left the game with her 5th foul with 3.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. It was a 10-point game. It's now 1 as the young players growing up for Rose-Hulman. In the corner, Venter for 3. Huge response. Now the ball in the hands of Amelia Diaz. Diaz shovels out, jumper, Godoy Rodriguez short, out of bounds. Boy, big 3 on the other end for Catherine Benter, 32% shooter.
Yeah, they were 2 of 10 from beyond the arc. Devon Paul goes to the zone defense out of the timeout, and just good ball movement on the perimeter from Hanover, able to find the open shooter.
They get it in for Benter. Rose-Hulman trying to speed up the Panthers here. They have forced a plethora of turnovers in this game. Wines taking care of the basketball. Beasold
back in man-to-man here.
Devon Paul's kind of mixed up the defenses throughout this game. Good pass, but blocked by Gallegos Rodriguez.
She's having a day.
Halfway through the 4th quarter, ball up for grabs. Good fight. It leads to Ship and a layup. And a 2-point game.
That does not look like a freshman. Ship able to run the floor, and how about the up and under move? Catches her defender in the air.
And it was the other freshman, Fennell, that got that ball on a risky pass. Here's the replay of that big block from the blossoming leader, Gallegos Rodriguez.
Yeah, 2 blocks, 2 steals for Gallegos Rodriguez.
Playing with 4 fouls.
You can see her two-way potential, especially as a defender. She's done a lot of really good things on the offensive glass as well. 5 offensive rebounds.
Ball in the hands of Alexis Wines. Has not made a basket in this second half. Beasold ripped at and fouled, and that's going to be the 4th on Amelia Diaz. So here's an update. Sophia Reese has 4. Amelia Diaz has 4. CK Gallegos Rodriguez has 4. And Jamie Baum's already fouled out with 5. That's a lot of fouls, Will.
Still 4:28 to go, Austin. I mean, it really has become a problem.
But Hanover is letting them off the hook at the free throw line. They are really struggling to the stripe. Just 16 of 26 now. And 1 of 2 on that trip for Beasold, who's up to 21 on the day. 5 of 8 from the free throw line.
23 fouls on Rose-Hulman, just 14 on Hanover.
It's a large discrepancy. Left side, Fennell, an open 3 off the back of the rim, and a good rebound by Beasold. 3-point game, nearing the 4-minute mark on a game that has been played in a 10-point window throughout its entirety, or I should say 11. That was the biggest lead early in the second quarter for Hanover. Rose-Hulman has never led. Berman, who has struggled with a turnover bug today. Down the baseline, spin move and score for Catherine Benter. Back to a 5-point game. 3:40 to play. What do these young fighting engineers have in store for us? Inside Ship, the freshman going to work. Dishes down for Gallegos Rodriguez. She's blocked, got it back, puts it up, missed the shot, reach in. Foul on Catherine Benter. That's her 2nd. On the floor, 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, 1 junior for Devrin Paul. With his senior leader, Jamie Baum, out of the game with 5 fouls. For now a full quarter of action, they have played without her. First free throw good for Gallegos Rodriguez.
The key down the stretch here is, are the Fighting Engineers going to be able to string together stops? 4 of 7 shooting this quarter already for Hanover. They've been able to get to the line for 6 attempts as well.
And can the rest of these players stay on the floor? There's 3 players playing with 4 fouls right now for the Fighting Engineers. Hanover ball up 3. More drama at Holbert Arena, a place that Rose-Hulman's been 4-2 at this season. Pull-up jumper off the mark. Rose-Hulman gets 1 stop, and now they're down 3 with the basketball. Reese maybe got ahead of her skis a little bit there. Backs it out, sets it up. Jamie Baum, the primary ball handler in this offense, so with her out, Reese has had to fill that void. Ship puts it on the deck, to the bucket, rattles out. She's been 3 of 14 today from the floor, has gotten a lot of good looks. One of those films you'll look back at and say, we didn't do anything wrong. A lot of good looks, and those are going to fall on most days.
Well, Devrin Paul shouting, don't foul to his team here. Blow by.
Good cut by Beasold, and the foul is on Caitlin Fennell, the rare fighting engineer that didn't have any foul trouble whatsoever. That's her first. It's the team's 5th, so that will put, actually any foul from here on out will put either team at the line for 2 shots. Any foul that's not an offensive foul. And the first free throw, no good. Beasold is 5 of 9 from the stripe today.
She's such a good free throw shooter, coming in over 80% on the season.
5th in the league. She gets 1 of 2 on that trip, 60% on the day. They get it in for Gallegos Rodriguez. 4-point game, 2:20 to go. In a game they have not led, the Fighting Engineers are still very much a part of this. Over to the right side, Diaz. Tipped pass, taken away. The long arms of Berman. Up ahead to Beasold. The layup is good. 6-point game final. 2 minutes here at Holbert Arena.
You don't need it all in one possession.
On the right wing, it's Reese. Reese
Still
backs
looking for
it
a
out.
good shot here. You just got to run your offense.
Almost double dribble, gets to the hoop and scores it and a foul. A circus shot around the waist of Alexis Wines, who picks up the foul, and a chance to cut it back to a one-possession game for Sophia Reese.
We are seeing this underclass group for Rose-Hulman grow up right before our eyes. And Sophia Reese, Exhibit A, a massive three-point play. And now Devrin Paul wisely going to use a timeout with 1:38 to go. This next defensive possession is going to be crucial for the Fighting Engineers.
He will have one timeout remaining. Gives us an opportunity to let you know we're brought to you by Highway Safety Services. You do what you do. We'll keep you safe while doing it. Contact at 765-446-1502. So one timeout left for the Fighting Engineers, 3 for the Panthers. Both teams are in the bonus. The possession arrow favors Rose-Hulman. 67-64 on the scoreboard. The Panthers have led from the jump. It took about 4 minutes for Rose-Hulman to get a field goal. They got down by as many as 11, surged back to make it a 1-point game at one point in this fourth quarter. It sits at 3 right now. Jamie Baum, the leading scorer, has been out for the last 12 minutes with a fifth foul late in the third quarter. Rose-Hulman's going to press out of the timeout. 1:38 to play. They get it in. Berman's running free on the other end. They didn't see her. Ball's tipped in the backcourt. 4 seconds to get it across. Wines lost it, tipped out of bounds. Whose ball? It's going to be Hanover's. But only 1 second to get it across, so Coach Jones will call a timeout.
Well, that was just an excellent hedge by Amelia Diaz out there, realizing that the ball handler only had a few more seconds to get it across the timeline, and they just blitzed her right in front of the scores table, was able to get a deflection, knock it out of bounds.
Only 8 steals in this game. They average 9.8 a game. That's second best in the HCAC. Active hands defensively for Rose-Hulman. Now, if you're John Jones, you're drawing up a play here basically to throw this ball into the front court. You can't afford to throw it in the back court. You have 1 second to get it across.
And as an inbounder, it'll be interesting to see who they have inbounding the basketball, and if Rose-Hulman puts somebody on the ball, it looks like they will.
Yep, it's going to be Wines.
And then Diaz.
So they're going to run probably like a football play here.
Brad Underwood special.
Oh, no, they actually ran the normal basketball play. That's tipped around and out of bounds. So they didn't force the 10-second violation, but the frantic nature of the play gives Rose-Hulman the possession. Down 3. 85 seconds to go. 1 timeout left for Devrin Paul. Certainly wants to keep that in his pocket if needed. Reese. 18 points inside. Ship with the layup. It's a 1-point game.
Rose-Hulman still extending defensive pressure here.
Good run down the sideline. And back out to Beazle. Final minute. Wines going to the bucket. No, but a late foul, and that's going to be it on Diaz. That's her 5th and final foul, and the second Fighting Engineer to foul out of this game. 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Her day has come to a close.
Rose-Hulman's bench cannot believe it.
First free throw is good. Looks like Julia Meyer will be the one to come in for her.
You know, it looked like on that play that if there was contact, it would have been on the body, the lower half.
They didn't catch that was her 5th foul before that first free throw for Wines. It should have been done before the first free throw.
So what happens?
They're just going to keep it. Yep. They're not going to take it away from her. That'd be pretty harsh. Second free throw up and good. Haven't been great at the free throw line, but those are big ones for Wines. 3-point game, 50 seconds to go. This is where the announcers say you don't need a 3 here, Will.
You do not need a 3 here. If you're Reese, you get to the basket.
And she does, and she scores a career-high 20 for Sophia Reese.
She's been unbelievable in the absence of Jamie Baum.
They still have not led in this game. There's 10 seconds between the clocks. They don't need to foul. It looks like they won't. Need one stop, and even a 2-pointer doesn't end it. Big possession for Hanover. 20 seconds left. To the bucket, Beazold. Double team comes. They work it around to Wines for a 3. Oh, what a shot for Wines. Timeout, Devon Paul with 13 and a half seconds left. A gut punch from Alexis Wines. A huge 3-pointer, her 3rd of the day. Might be the dagger for Hanover.
And that for Rose-Hulman to play good defense for
26 seconds.
25 seconds of the shot clock, and to give up a deep 3 with a few seconds left. It's tough. Sophia Reese here, though. She's been able to get to her spots all night long in the lane, and there's another floater. Rose-Hulman down 4, 13.6 seconds to go. I think you just got to try to get to the basket as quickly as possible, try to draw some contact.
It doesn't need to be a 3.
Does not need to be a 3.
Hanover has struggled from the free throw line today.
However, the one thing now with Devon Paul using his last timeout, you have to be very careful about who fouls after this offensive possession if Rose-Hulman were to score, because we just saw Diaz foul out, and Rose-Hulman, Gallegos Rodriguez has 4 fouls, and Sophia Reese has 4 fouls, so you don't want it to be either of them to pick up their 5th and final. But here on this offensive possession, I think you get Sophia Reese the ball in space, let her work and make a play. She's been doing it all quarter long. Crash the offensive glass, try to get a follow if you can.
Bunnell will trigger the inbound. For the Fighting Engineers, down 4, need a quick bucket. They get it in for Reese. Reese trying to go to work. Kicks it baseline, jumper. Gallegos Rodriguez got it. 8 seconds left, and a timeout called. Hanover will have 1 remaining. Devon Paul and Rose-Hulman are out, so if they are able to get something here and get it back, they will not be able to take the advancement timeout. And he has to make sure his team knows that. No timeouts.
And you know, Austin, for how well Sophia Reese has played, 20 points, 7 of 12 from the field, that was probably my favorite play that she made all night long. Having the trust in your teammates in Gallegos Rodriguez, who had only made 2 field goals all night. She gives up the ball to her on the short corner, and she makes the jump shot. A lot of trust in there in this young group.
She's been the MVP today, there's no doubt. And again, the result aside, Devon Paul is going to be glowing about the way his young players have performed. You lose your best player, your all-conference potential player of the year, senior leader, with 13 minutes left in the game, down 10. You're thinking the worst. And instead, they have fought this thing tooth and nail. Inbound, Beazold fouled. And Smart for Ship to issue the foul, just her 3rd. And Beazold, a great free throw shooter on the year, 81%, but today, maybe a bit of a mental block, 6 of 10.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. You look at her stat line, 24 and 11. That's just a day's work.
Double-double today as she misses the first. And the Fighting Engineers, no timeouts, but they're going to have a shot at this. 6 of 11 from the stripe for Beazold, 24 points, 11 boards. Second free throw, got it. 3-point game.
Plenty of time.
No timeouts. Inbound to Reese, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Reese, she'll pull up, 3 for the tie. It is short. And Hanover will escape Terre Haute with a win. 73-70 over the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. What a performance from the youngsters of Rose-Hulman. They fought tooth and nail, William, and gave it everything they had.
What a game, and you knew who was getting that shot up. It looked like it was good for when it left her hand. She had plenty of space when she shot it. Sophia Reese, heck of a performance. 20 points, a career high. 5 rebounds, 4 assists, only 1 turnover. I mean, and she is a rising star for this Rose-Hulman group, and you have to be proud if you're a Fighting Engineers fan of the way that this team fought through the adversity of the foul issues and Jamie Baum fouling out early in the third quarter and being able to crawl your way back into the game against one of the top teams in the league. We talked about how important this game was in this season, even though it's mid-January for both of these squads. And I think Rose-Hulman is coming away with this. Yeah, they lost, but they will see Hanover again later this season. They're also going to see Transylvania again later this season. This team is building something here in Holbert Arena.
There's still a lot in front of them, and a shout-out to CK Gallegos-Rodriguez, a season-high 11 points for her as well. Rose-Hulman down 10 when their leading scorer and only senior fouled out of the game. They cut it to 1 several times, couldn't quite get over the hump, but I agree with you. I think Devin Paul leaves here with a lot more positives. He told me before the game, we're trying to get better every game. That's not necessarily reflective on the scoreboard. Sometimes you win and you feel like you got worse. Sometimes you lose, you feel like you got better. There's no doubt today, even in a loss, they got better
Especially
today.
with a very young team. You know, we talked about that across the broadcast. This is a very young Rose-Hulman team. They're led by their one senior in Jamie Baum, who is an all-conference caliber player, one of the better players in all of the Heartland Conference. And, you know, the youngins stepped up for Rose-Hulman here today. Gallegos Rodriguez, a junior, you mentioned it, a season-high 11 points. Sophia Reese and Amelia Diaz, though, those two underclassmen guards put on a performance. And Emma Shipp, the freshman, for her to respond in the middle of the game the way she did, starting 0 of 8 from the field. She finishes 4 of 15 from the field and 9 points. That's her season average. Just a freshman, but a lot of maturity in those moments. We're seeing this team grow up every game this season, and that's what I think Devin Paul is going to be very happy about.
Final score here today, Hanover 73, Rose-Hulman 70. A fun one here at Holbert Arena. That's it for us. A big thank you to our crew, Daniel Thacker and Savannah Semler on the cameras, our director, Chuck Levine. For William McDermott, I am Austin Mender. Thanks so much for spending your Wednesday evening with us. Hanover comes in and gets a 73-70 win in the HCAC. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks so much for spending your day with us here on RHIT.TV.